Good morning, everybody, and welcome to what is Wednesday. First of all, I want to start off by saying thanks to those of you who reached out and wished yours truly a happy birthday as I come to you today a year older than I was the last time I talked to you. So thanks so much for the birthday wishes. That was very, very kind. Didn't get any cookies from students delivered, but my students in this house delivered by creating some cookies for me as well. So it's been awesome. Thanks so much. Today we get to talk a little bit about the circulatory system, which connects directly to the work we did last week with the respiratory system, and I'll explain why that is in just a little bit. In the circulatory system, we've got several goals. The primary goal being we've got to move blood throughout our entire body. We're moving this blood because of something that's in the blood. Some of you are already guessing it. It's oxygen. And of course, the waste product, carbon dioxide. Oxygen has to get throughout our bodies. Yes, it's one thing for it to get to our lungs, but somehow it's got to go from our lungs to all the extremities in our body, and I'll talk about that. So primary goal, the movement of a fluid known as blood throughout our body, which carries in it oxygen and the waste product, carbon dioxide, and its ability to leave. So there's three parts that make up the circulatory system. I want to talk to you a little bit about those now. The first one is systemic. That's the systemic system of which blood's moving throughout our extremities and our body parts. The entire system of the body is involved in the systemic system. That's different, of course, than what we would call the coronary system, where that's just the blood that travels in the vessels that are involved in getting oxygen to our heart. So everything on, around, or inside of our heart is part of that coronary system. And then there's something known as the pulmonary system of circulation, and that's the vessels that are involved in blood going to the heart from the lungs and from the heart back to the lungs. So that's this way of oxygenating or or carrying oxygenated rich or oxygenated poor blood to and from the heart. So those are three parts, I should say, of the circulatory system that I think are important for you guys to understand, and knowing that they are different. And you're going to write a paragraph as to why those are different. You can use Google, of course, and look up other resources to help you identify why is it that they are different. So I'll move from there. In the circulatory system, we have to make mention, of course, of the piping that makes it up. Let's start with the pump. It's the heart. We'll start there and end there with the heart, but that's the pump that's going to move all of this blood. But then you need vessels, and the vessels we're going to talk about primarily are arteries, which are going to carry oxygenated blood away from the heart. And of course, then we have capillaries, where that's the really fine, like thread-like vessels which exchange blood and gas. And then you have veins, which are going to carry deoxygenated blood back from the body to the heart. So those are the three main vessels that make up the circulatory system. And let's do a little activity, I guess. You guys are going to do a heart rate lab today for me. And in the heart rate lab, it's something similar to what you've done before, but I've got a fantastic demonstrator today, and your classmate in being Bo. He's going to showcase how we, one, take our pulse at a resting pace. So for 30 seconds, you'll measure your heart rate, and that's at resting. And let's go ahead and do it with Bo right now. So we're going to switch cameras. Bear with us as we do this. And we go live here momentarily. All right, so here's Bo. Bo, you can say hi to everybody.
Hi.
We're gonna do the resting pulse. So go ahead and find your pulse, Bo. So Bo finds his pulse for 30 seconds. He's keeping track. You've already started. While we're waiting for Bo, we again are recognizing that pulse is the feeling of blood flowing through that artery or that Bo is taking it at, the carotid artery. Five seconds. And time. What'd you get for a number, Bo?
46.
46. All right, we were practicing a little bit, and he might be a little nervous on camera, so his heart rate might, in fact, be up at 46. Now it's time to put him to work. He's got a resting heart rate of 46. Here you go, Bo. He's gonna go ahead and take his time, get some spacing so you can reach out here. Go ahead and go. Then you're gonna do some exercise. And Bo's getting himself going with a little jumping rope. You guys can do whatever it is you want. It's entirely up to you. Even if you mess up with the jump rope, you keep going. Exercise for 30 seconds. And as you can imagine, Bo is going to take his heart rate after these 30 seconds. About 5 more seconds. Crank it. And time. Go ahead and take now your exercising pulse for 30 seconds. As he does that, some of you that are watching at home can envision the fact that his heart rate has gone up, and so his pulse is going to be going up as well, or his heart rate will be going up, and his calculations should showcase that. He's counting. He's got 8 more seconds. You guys will measure this at home. Use a stopwatch, use your phone, whatever the case may be. And stop. Bo, what'd you get?
80.
80. That's in 30 seconds. So if we take each of those numbers, your first number was what, Bo, 46?
Yeah.
And we double that because we only measured it for 30 seconds. We want to know what is it per minute. You guys will record this at home in your chart, and we'll find out exactly where you're at. So Bo, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Your numbers would be 46 times 2. We'll be looking at 92, and that'd be your resting. And then your exercise rate was what, 84?
Just 80.
Just 80 times 2, so we're talking about 160. So you see the difference, how things change for Bo and his numbers. I'm gonna have you guys at home, make sure you record on the spreadsheet that I have in the link below in the description. Make sure you put your name, put your resting rate, pardon me, that's there for what will be the first 30 seconds, and put another column for times 2. You'll see it on there. Put your numbers in there, and then put after an exercise. You want to jump rope, you want to run in place, you want to go run a mile, you want to do push-ups, you want to gently toss your brother and sister around the house in some form of exercise. It's entirely up to you. If you are Dr. Tony Hernandez and you just want to throw your daughter up into the air carefully and catch Mary repeatedly and then check it, that could be good exercise for you too. So that's what I have for you guys today. I want you to make sure you read the description, understanding a little bit more about the circulatory system. Recognize that I want you to do this heart rate lab, have a little fun with it. Be creative and send me a picture if you want of you exercising, or a parent taking a picture of you exercising, and then put in those numbers so we can compare them with everybody else. That's kind of where we're at. You won't hear from me tomorrow, which is Thursday, and you look forward to hearing from Mrs. Hefner on Friday for an activity on the heart, as she explains how blood comes into that heart in the right atrium, down to the right ventricle, gets pumped back out to the lungs to get what? You know it, oxygen. Once oxygen gets into the blood, it's got to come back to the heart. It goes into the left atrium, where it's collected from the lungs and then makes its way to the left ventricle, and it gets pumped out the aorta to the rest of our body. The heart is a fascinating, incredible muscle that beats for us each and every day. Don't forget to share your heart with people, be a great person, and of course recognize your heart's accomplishments in getting you oxygen throughout your body. So for today, it's Wednesday, it's Bo Bester, it's myself, Mr. Bester, saying so long everybody, and have a great day.